baby getting enough milk? Hey guys, I want to talk to you today about a question that plagues almost every new mother, even experienced ones. Is my baby getting enough milk? Today I want to talk to you about the 4 ways that you can tell that your baby's getting enough milk and what to do if the answer is no. Let's dive in. If you're excited for this video and looking forward to more tips and tricks for birthing and breastfeeding with confidence, I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now so that you get updates every week when I post new material.
Just a disclaimer, this video is to serve for informational and educational purposes only. Please contact your personal healthcare provider with personal healthcare questions.
So, wondering if we're making enough milk seems to be the question of the century. New moms, experienced moms, any mom of a newborn who is breastfeeding tends to have a little bit of concern, rightly so, about whether or not their baby's getting enough to eat. It's hard when we're accustomed to seeing numbers and breastfeeding is very different than bottle feeding because you don't see the actual volume that they're taking in. So how do you know what they're getting? Well, number 1 is looking at what's coming out. So if your newborn is beginning to have transitional stools, you know, they start with meconium and then they go to transitional stools and then have yellow breastfeeding poop stools, that starting that transition is a really good sign that your baby is getting enough milk because it's starting to clear out the meconium. Also, when we're looking at diapers, we want to look for 1 pee and 1 poop per day of life for the first week. Then, after about 6 days old, we want to see about 12 wet and dirty diapers a day. 10 to 12. You know, it's a range. If we want to see about 6 to 10 dirty. We want to see about 6 to 10 wet and dirty diapers a day. Once they start dropping below that, we might have some concerns. Look at the quality of their urine. If they have super concentrated urine all the time, that might be a sign for concern. So the next thing we're going to look at is their overall hydration status. You know, we've looked at their diapers for a sign of hydration. Another way that you can see how hydrated they are is to take a look at the little soft spot on their head that's called a fontanelle. Now, that soft spot is going to kind of rise and dip with the day. You might see it pulsing, but if it's extremely sunken in and remains sunken in, that's a sign that your baby is dehydrated and you need to go to the doctor or hospital immediately. Another sign of hydration is skin turgor. So this is where you're going to pinch your baby's skin on their hand, and if it kind of goes back to normal and is very elastic, then that's a sign that your baby is well hydrated. If the skin kind of stays pinched a little bit, in conjunction with the other signs we talked about, that might be a sign that your baby's experiencing dehydration. Other signs of dehydration are lethargy and not wanting to nurse, not wanting to wake up. Again, these are things that we want to look at as a whole picture. We don't want to take one of these signs and assume that it's a death sentence, that your baby's not getting enough milk and blah, 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 blah. Like, look at the whole picture. Don't just zone in on one little detail. Okay, guys? This is really important. I need you to hear that. Sometimes we might see some of these signs, but on their own. And so, on their own for a short period of time, it might not be a problem. In conjunction with all these other signs, that's when we start to get really concerned. So a sleepy baby doesn't necessarily mean they're dehydrated, but a sleepy baby with a sunken fontanelle, not many dirty diapers, that could be a sign of dehydration. Okay, you guys sticking with me? So another sign of how well your baby's nursing is really just watching your baby while they feed. Do you feel a letdown? Does it feel like your breasts are being emptied? Do you hear your baby nursing? Sometimes you'll hear a kind of sound. Do you hear that? That's their swallows. Do you see them nursing? Do you see their cheeks moving? Do you see the suckling happening? Those are all signs that your baby might be feeding really, really well. If they suckle for a little bit and get tired, they might not be getting a full feed in. The next sign we want to talk about is weight gain. If your baby is gaining weight, then that's a sign that your baby is nursing really well. We look for your baby to be back to birth weight by about 2 weeks old. Every baby is going to experience an initial weight loss. That's normal. Certain factors related to the birth can skew that weight loss higher or lower. So we usually look around a 7 to 10% weight loss. Once we start getting above 10%, we start getting a little concerned, and we really want to start assessing these feeds, and we really want you to be working with a lactation professional to make sure that your baby is getting enough milk and your milk supply is being supported. To determine if your baby's gaining enough weight, we really look for around a ½ ounce to 1 ounce a day. We want to see them gaining closer to 1 ounce a day, but if they have a couple ½ ounce days, things are not going to be a perfect 1 ounce every day. One day they might gain 1½ ounces, the next day they might gain a ½ ounce. So if we're in that range and things are trending upward, that's great. If they start to drop off their percentiles, or their growth curve is kind of, going and starts leveling out sooner than it should, we're going to start getting concerned. Your lactation consultant should be able to work with you to follow your baby's weight, follow your baby's weight gain trends, and determine a plan that really works for supporting your breastfeeding goals. So these are the 4 tips to making sure that your baby is getting enough milk. Now, what happens if you're looking at these questions and you say, uh-oh, Jamie, I really think my baby is not getting enough milk? Then what do I do? I want you to jump on over to my How to Increase Milk Supplies video. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks there. But number 1, I want you to call your doctor and call your lactation consultant. If you found this video helpful, I want you to go ahead and hit like for me. That would be really, really, really helpful so that more families can find my video and get the same help that you enjoyed. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments for me. And if you're looking forward to more videos and tips and tricks for birthing and breastfeeding with confidence, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And don't forget to hit the little bell. That just makes sure that you get a notification every time I post a new video and I don't get buried in your feed. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm looking forward to bringing you guys more tips and tricks for birthing and breastfeeding with confidence.